Hi, I'm Stephanie Atkinson with Stephanie Atkinson Coaching, and this is our executive office hours. This is a place where I take your DMs from my LinkedIn and I answer your questions. So these questions come from professionals, people navigating career change, new leaders, a lot of new leader questions. So I am happy to respond to those questions that you send. And the way this works is that I'm going to read the question the way it comes to me, and I will call out your initial, just so you know that, yes, it was you that asked the question. And then I'll also talk about what I believe is beneath the question, and then show you how it shows up at work and what to do differently. So, AM, the first question is, I'm doing great at my job, but I feel like I'm doing more work and getting less visibility. I am staying late to fix problems. I'm thought about as the reliable one, but I'm still in my same role. So, okay. So I think, AM, what you're really asking is, why doesn't hard work matter like it used to? And, effort does not mean promotion. Effort does not equal impact. Effort is it's the level field of play when you come into work. Effort is just expected of you. Impact and judgment is what drives the needle. So if you continue to put in hard work, and for some of us, it might look like attending as many meetings as possible to look like we're seen and involved in the business. But if you are not creating real value for your organization, for your team, all of that effort is for naught. So what I would say to you, when someone comes to you, and if you're working on a project, ask yourself to name the problem here that you are solving before you get into work, putting into the effort, getting into the hard work. What is being asked of you? What's the result? And if you don't know, ask for clarification from your manager or for a leader. And therefore, when you start thinking about this project, taking it on, doing this extra work, or if it's something you can delegate, what problem does this solve? And when you present your work back or you share it, clearly state in your work what problem you are solving. And I guarantee you'll start getting noticed after that. Okay, AM? All right. This one comes from a T. I just got promoted and I feel like I'm supposed to have answers I don't have. Everyone is looking towards me. I have a few new direct reports and I don't have the answers. Okay, welcome to leadership. Welcome to management. So the question here, AT, I think what you're really asking is, am I failing already or am I going to fail? And the answer is probably not. You just need a bit of direction, okay? So if you don't know the statistics, it's around like 60% of managers fail within their first 2 years of leadership. And they do that because they're not stepping into their leadership identity of their new role. So understand what that new leadership identity is, because it's going to be different at a manager level, a director level, and a VP level. But you know what? You're not going to have all of the answers, and you never will. Be a student of the business and learn things at a high level, not at the level that your team needs to know these. But I would also say to you, align yourself with a mentor who's been there, someone that you respect, so that you can bounce ideas off of and look clearly at how you're deciding on problems, right? What are you going to decide if you don't have complete information? How will you lean into something? How will you learn something in your new role and get connected to the right people who can help you solve those problems or point you in the right direction? So, don't panic in these situations. It's going to be about your mindset. If you're focused on failing or not having the answer when someone comes back to you, it's going to be okay to say, I'm going to get right back to you on this. I'll connect tomorrow. But be cognizant of how you're speaking to yourself. Because if you're thinking about failing, you are in service of yourself. You're in service of your pride, what other people think about you versus what's in service of the business. So if you are always looking through that lens of, hey, I am doing this, or I'm looking for the problem to solve, or I'm looking for the learn I need to do in service of the business, that will serve you well. It'll serve your organization well, and it will serve your team well. Okay. BA. How do I say no to meetings without looking unhelpful? Okay. That's no additional context there, but how do I say no to meetings without looking unhelpful? Okay. So I'm going to look at this two ways. One would be, what will other people think about me? And will I lose influence or visibility? Because those two can get confused if I don't attend meetings. So let's tackle that. What will people think of me? It goes back to my last one about be in service of the business, right? Leaders who make business impact, those are the ones who move the needle. Those are the ones who get promoted. Those are the ones who are going to get visibility. So if you are being asked to attend meetings that are just an update, if someone on your team can go instead of you, those are the type of things that you shouldn't be attending. And you can actually say, hey, if this is just an update meeting, I'll catch up on that in the recap, or I'll watch it on the Teams when I'm driving home. Or you don't even need to say that. You can just say, I'll catch it on the Teams meeting later. But and the same goes for influence, right? Without looking unhelpful, you're there to do a job. Your job is to move the business forward. So you will be unhelpful if you are in meetings that you're not supposed to be in, or aren't at the level of leadership where you should be leading. And I've got all kinds of posts and so forth on that you can look into. But I'll talk one for senior leaders. This is an easy one. If there's no decisions being made in a meeting that aren't high stakes, critical, or directly need your input, like, you don't attend. You just don't attend. You can get your directors, you can get your managers to attend. Again, if decisions need to be made that are at their level, but you need to really lead at the level that you were hired to do. And one other thing, if you're holding meetings, cut them in half. Automatically cut them in half. Have two agenda points and what decision needs to be made in that meeting, so people become prepared. Because when people don't know the two agenda topics and what needs to be decided in that meeting, you end up having another meeting, and you're not getting the critical work done that needs to get done. So hope that helps. Join me again for executive office hours. I'll keep taking your questions. Just send me those in a DM, please. I'll only use your initials, and I look forward to seeing you next time.